If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Newton acknowledged that his discoveries were built upon the work of those who came before him. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. This reflects Newton's frustration with the unpredictability of human behavior compared to the predictable laws of physics. What we know is a drop, what we don't know is an ocean. This saying highlights Newton's humility and recognition of the vastness of the unknown in the pursuit of knowledge. Truth is ever to be found in simplicity, and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. Newton believed in the elegance and simplicity of nature's laws. To every action, there is always opposed an equal reaction. This is one of Newton's most famous principles, known as the third law of motion, which is fundamental in physics.
Nature is pleased with simplicity. And nature is no dummy. Newton emphasized the elegance and simplicity in the laws of nature, suggesting that complex phenomena often have simple underlying principles. Tact is the art of making a point without making an enemy. This quote reflects Newton's understanding of diplomacy and the importance of communication, especially in scientific discourse. Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is truth. Newton valued truth above all, even above the revered philosophers of antiquity, underscoring his commitment to empirical evidence and objective understanding. Errors are not in the art but in the artificers. Newton believed that mistakes arise from human error, not from the principles of the scientific method or natural philosophy. To myself, I am only a child playing on the beach, while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. This saying illustrates Newton's humility in his awareness of the vastness of knowledge yet to be explored, despite his own monumental discoveries. A man may imagine things that are false, but he can only understand things that are true. Newton distinguished between imagination and understanding, implying that true understanding is rooted in what is factual and provable. Truth is the offspring of silence and meditation. Newton valued deep reflection and quiet contemplation as essential processes for uncovering truth. In the absence of any other proof, the thumb alone would convince me of God's existence. Newton marveled at the intricacy of nature, seeing evidence of a divine creator in even the smallest details, such as the human thumb. To explain all nature is too difficult a task for any one man or even for any one age. 'Tis much better to do a little with certainty, and leave the rest for others that come after you. Newton acknowledged the limitations of individual human effort and emphasized the importance of building knowledge incrementally over time. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. While this is commonly known as Newton's third law of motion, it's often cited as a principle with broader philosophical implications, suggesting balance in nature and in life. Gravity explains the motions of the planets, but it cannot explain who sets the planets in motion. Newton recognized that while scientific principles could describe natural phenomena, they did not necessarily address the ultimate causes or purposes behind them, leaving room for metaphysical or theological explanations. To every action there is always opposed an equal reaction, or the mutual actions of two bodies upon each other are always equal, and directed to contrary parts. This is a more detailed formulation of his third law of motion, emphasizing the mutuality and balance in the interactions between objects. A body in motion tends to remain in motion unless acted upon by an external force. This is Newton's first law of motion, which articulates the principle of inertia, foundational to classical mechanics.